in several episodes in the past, even though this is an Excelsior Henderson YouTube channel. It's not all going to be Excelsior Henderson. This one's going to be a special one to my heart. It's a memorial to my old good friend Tom Kohn. I'm doing this for him so that he isn't forgotten as another person on the obituary that's just a name. Yeah, I want to put a mark with his name of some permanence. I mean, YouTube is a silly new tech out there that's being used by everybody, but there's be some permanence there that maybe his grandkids can see, and grandkids, and his own kids, and all that. This is me doing that for him. As you can all see, well, first off, I've got myself a script because I didn't want to miss nothing. I'm hoping to keep this kind of short, but we'll see how it goes. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to keep myself together. This has been a hard one. This is very informal, as you can all see. This is my shop, and it's a mess. For all of you that don't know me and have OCD, just handle it. It's just me. I'm a loose cannon of sorts, and that's the way I operate, and I'm a happy soul normally, and we'll let it go at that. I want to state right at the beginning that the things I'm going to be talking about here are my opinion, and my opinion as my memory remembers it. Some of you may remember different things, different directions, and that's fine. Just understand this is the way I saw it, the way it happened to me. I know Tom's watching this. And he's going to be very uncomfortable with it because he's a pretty humble guy. But I don't care. As for this little bit of time I'm creating this video for YouTube, I'm going to be a bit selfish. He deserves it. And so it goes. Tom started at Lincoln Hoot and Holler. It's Lincoln Telephone and Telegraph in the spring of '73. Him and I hit it off immediately. I'd started there in October of '72. He was just fresh out of the Navy, and we just got along. His humor, my humor, both of us a little bit extrovert, willing to meet people and show our feelings about stuff. We got along really well. We ended up renting an apartment together at 3228 Vine Street in Lincoln. We lived there for over 2.5 years. I got a feeling it might have been close to 3 or 4 years, but I don't remember. I can't remember that. To define Tom, I'm not sure I can do it justice with my simple words. These words fit. He was loyal, true blue, honest, a stand-up guy with a great work ethic. His work ethic carried him through the phone company with a huge reputation. Living together this length of time, we got to know each other very well. Lots of silly young buck adventures happened, antics, and learning about each other. There's a lot of stories I could tell here. I don't know that it would be proper, and it would make this video hours long. It'd be a novel by the time I got done with it. I do got a couple that I'll tell. This is one of them that's an exception that I want to tell. 'Cause it makes me smile, and it's pretty good. When Tom moved in with me, he had a brand new Blazer, and he also had a little Honda 100 he had down in Crete. That's where he was born and raised, was in Crete. And that little Honda he brought up to the apartment. I had an 850 Norton, and so we'd go riding together, streets of Lincoln, have a good time. But it was kind of an odd sight to see. It was kind of a Mutt and Jeff affair. Then I was tall and skinny, and Tom was short and stocky, and he'd be on that little bitty Barbie bike of his, and I was on that Norton. He couldn't ever keep up, but it was just the way it went. And it was funny. After a short period of time of those antics and me tormenting him all the time about his little Barbie bike, 100 Honda, he went and bought a Z1. It wasn't brand new, but it was fairly new, very low mileage, and very fast. It was a 900 Z1 Kawasaki, for those that don't know. And the races began, street light racing in the streets of Lincoln. Time went on, and I got married. Tom moved in with his buddy from high school, Dave Keel. Dave's good stuff. Him and Tom are still very good friends. In fact, down in Table Rock, Missouri, they got cabins next to each other. Dave's a good guy. They rented a home together in the Bethany Meadow Lane area of Lincoln, Nebraska, and a while later, Tom got reacquainted with his old girlfriend from Crete, Pam, and they got married. I still remember the parts of the bachelor party and the wedding, all good memories. They were a long, long time ago, but I do remember them, and I have no bad memories of any of that. They moved, Tom and Pam, after they got married, they bought a house in East Bethany. Not real sure how long they lived there, but they ended up buying a nice place out by Shorty's, which was Tom's father-in-law, or Pam's dad, an acreage in South Lancaster County, or southern Lincoln, far South Lincoln. It was a really nice acreage. They moved out there. I missed that moving day by one day. I showed up out there at the place one day late with my pickup and trailer. And it was all done. And it was a weird deal. Tom laughed about it, I laughed about it, and didn't think much about it. A year or two later, I moved into my acreage in North Lancaster County in Waverly, and believe it or not, Tom showed up to help me move one day late. Just a quirky little story that happened there. On the acreage out there in South Lincoln, deep South Lincoln, they raised two kids that I got to meet and get to know recently. I really never got to know their kids at all. I met Ryan back when he was a toddler. I don't remember where I met him, but I just remember meeting him. And Melissa I met at a soccer game when I was coaching soccer at Norris High School, and she was playing on the other team. And Tom and Pam did a good job. These are two good kids. As any good parent would do, Tom took on parenting diligently. He was going to do it the best he could to raise two good kids. As the kids grew up, he became more involved with the community. He was in the Boy Scouts pretty deep, the way I understand it. Oh, wrestling, I forgot, I didn't write that one down. He was into wrestling. Ryan wrestled, and he was involved with that. He was also on the Norris School Board. I know there's more things Tom accomplished in his life. At this point in his life, I wasn't involved very much, and so if I saw him at all, I was at work, and we'd have casual conversation, good, friendly, casual conversation. But I didn't know a lot that was going on in his life, no more than he knew what was going on in my life. That's the way it was. That's just the life path. That's the way it goes. In construction, Tom became a fierce lineman, eventually one of the best bucket truck operators that the company ever saw at that time. There were other bucket truck operators that were very good also, but Tom was like one of the first. He really did very, very well in there, and because of it, his reputation got him a lot of places. After some time, he bid out of construction and went to installation and repair, which is the guys that go in your house and install a phone. Once he went over to INR, that's the nickname we called that, we lost a lot of contact a lot of years there. In construction, Tom was known as Turk or Turkey. That come from Jimmy Walker days when he was using the word turkey freely. It was about, and Tom's first name was Tom, and Tom Turkey, we all know that, and so he ended up with Turk. In R&R, he gained a new nickname. I found out after he retired. I had never heard him called that before, but they called him the Professor, or at least some of them did, and I thought that was a humorous name for him. Life throws stuff at us all. Best friends move on as life paths change. This was one of them. We were always good to go. We'd see each other every once in a while, and it was just like we just been still living in the apartment. It's like nothing had changed. Everything was no big deal. I was always proud of him moving through the company, being the guy in demand, and when he went to the installation department, his reputation shined. I'd hear about it, and it'd make me feel good. I retired early, and he eventually retired too, where we got acquainted. Reacquainted again. Tons of old memories came rushing back, and we had fun talking with each other and stuff at the weekly Geezers Coffee Club that we somehow got developed at McDonald's. Every Thursday we get together, a bunch of old retired guys, and have coffee or breakfast or whatever you want to do on Thursday mornings. And that's where me and Tom got acquainted again. An interesting note was when I saw Tom there for the first time in quite a long time, probably 5-10 years, Tom had a big old long hillbilly beard that I never thought I'd ever see Tom with that, because he's always clean cut, almost military. Other than his mustache, he had a mustache forever. During this time in the Geezers Club, I got, as I said, reacquainted with him and everything, and he, believe it or not, gave me his old Z1 Kawasaki. He still had it. It wasn't in the best of shape, but he had stored it, and it didn't run no more, needed tires, all that good stuff. And he gave it to me. He entrusted me with it to revive it, to get it going again. I was really very proud to take on this project. That was a personal thing for him to trust me to do it. The end result, he was tickled, just delighted about it, the way it all came out. It was cool. When the bike was here in my shop, waiting to get worked on, I had a bunch of parts I was selling off, and a high-dollar bike restoration guy in Lincoln came out to buy some parts from me, and he spotted that Z1, even in its rough condition right then and there. The guy recognized the fact that it was all there, and it wasn't going to take a whole bunch to really get it up to snuff again. He offered to buy it right away at $8,500. And then he told me, he says, and if it's got the factory wire wheels, he says, I'll give you $10.5 for it. So, or actually $10,000. So I called Tom right away. I was kind of excited. I mean, we're talking a lot of bucks here. And Tom profoundly said no. I chuckle at that, because that bike meant everything to him. He'd done a trip we were supposed to do together. He'd done a trip by himself because I couldn't get off. The city foreman would not let him, Tom and I, get off at the same time and go on a motorcycle trip together. So we had planned it to go together, and then he ended up going on it by himself. And I think he rode all the way to Oregon and was gone for a week, and he just had a ball. And I was tickled that he got to go on the trip, even though I didn't get to go with him on my big silly Norton. Eventually through life, Pam, Tom's wife, started a march, her own personal march against Alzheimer's. Tom was commenting that it was getting to the point that he couldn't trust her driving anymore, she'd get lost and that sort of thing. And Tom never whimpered about any of it. He just took it straight on, hit long right into it, and took the battle on to keep her safe and take care of her. This past spring, Alzheimer's throttled up on Pam, and it became pretty much full blown. So much so that Tom couldn't leave her home alone for coffee with the Geezers Club at McDonald's. And he brought her one time in July. He brought her to the coffee because he couldn't leave her alone, so he brought her. And I think he was sizing it up to see how it was going to work out. From what I saw, it worked out very well. Pam is a very happy Alzheimer victim, from what I can tell. I'm not around her all the time, obviously. But what we saw there, she was very happy, and it was fine. We all accepted it, and we figured that he'd come back. He did not. Tom apparently didn't feel comfortable about hauling her down there and being around public and whatever his opinion was on the whole thing. That was the last time Tom attended the Geezers Club. We did keep him on the text messaging. Just everybody liked Tom. That was the way it was. So we kept him on there, and he dealt with all the tormenting that we do on our huge text messages. I think we got 20 people on there, and we're all wild and woolly, and we just stay at it. Tom was in there, and he'd get his digs in, and nothing changed other than that we couldn't see Tom in person. We knew he was there with us on the text. He was always paying attention to that. Late this past November or early December, I can't remember the exact dates, we were all of us on the text messaging were hit with the fact that Tom had found out that he had stage 4 inoperable brain cancer. It was a thunderstruck. I got to visit him in the hospital when he was doing therapy. He was having an issue of falling out of chairs. He couldn't keep his balance. And so he's doing therapy in the hospital after the brain cancer came about. So I got to visit him in the hospital. His daughter, Melissa, was there. And it was the same old Tom. Man, he was tickled to see me. I could tell that. And I obviously was tickled to see him. And we refrained from getting bitter or dirty or a little outlandish with our teasing of each other and our comments and stuff for Melissa's benefit. It was a nice visit. It's a great memory I'll never forget. This past Monday, Tom had a seizure and never regained consciousness. I got a text this morning when I was delivering my granddaughter to school that he didn't survive. Last night, I got to see him. I knew about the seizure, and we all knew about it, and I went to see him in the hospital with his kids, and it was a pleasant visit. I needed that visit, but it was a blunt ending. Obviously with him going this morning. So the seizure was Monday and today's Friday. That tells you the timeline there. Blessed be Tom that he went quick. I'm proud he did that. One last effort on his part to do no harm. Tom was my friend. I will never forget him. Tom, old buddy, this one's for you. Thanks, buddy.